the Xbox Hall of Fame. Like, there's actually new news on this, Swinny. Do you want to take this away?
Yeah, so I think it was last week mentioned that they were announcing the winners of the Hall of Fame competition this week, and they did. And a lot of it is as you'd expect. The people that we knew were going to win in certain stuff. Then the game specific categories, obviously a lot more competitive there. But there was one specific category that was always going to be a lot more competitive, which was the category called Gamerscore Champion, which was basically most Gamerscore earned within the campaign period. Or so we thought. So the campaign period was the 1st of October till the 19th of October. So 19 days was the campaign period. And the rules, basically, the English rules said, most gamer score earned within campaign period. Then when the results came out, everyone's like, wait, what's going on? This person, I earned legit, people earned 296,000 achievement points in those 90 days or something like that.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Right? Then the person who had the top had about 100,000. And people are like, wait, what's going on? We know all these people who got way more than 100,000 during the campaign period. Then the Dutch rules, or maybe some other languages, said it was most gamer score earned within a week during the gamer score period, which were the
that's different
rules. Very different when you talk about those rules. So within a 7-day period, within the 19 days, the person who earned the most was the winner. And
that's so convoluted.
Yeah, but the problem you got then is then people planned everything out and they bought all the.
Yeah.
I don't the fact that they bought all the games. It was their choice to do that, but also they thought the rules were so different here, right? And so they spent all this time. One guy, one person is like, oh, man, I went for 19 days, sometimes barely sleeping at all.
Oh my gosh!
To win this competition, and I had no idea that it was only going to be that was the way it was counted. Now these people, still credit the people that still got it within those 7 days, and there's definitely people used a lot of alt accounts, but I mean that wasn't against the rules, which means that they could create a fake account or a second account.
Yeah.
And then play a bunch of easy games that they've already completed the main one. Look, that's not
fine.
Rules. That's fine, right? But this just, man, people are pissed about this because...
Well, you can see why. Did the rules clearly stipulate that, though, that it was only going to be within that week?
Yeah, it's funny because we, in a previous podcast, remember, Swinny, when I was reading all the T's and C's and everything. I actually read the rules really carefully. To me, this is actually pretty basic. Xbox or Microsoft, they just need to actually honor obviously they've written the rules incorrectly, but what they've written, they need to honor it. They basically, unfortunately, to me, have to go through, and it's one prize in each of these 2 categories, and however many regions, they just have to eat it and give them Xbox Series X, because it's just wrong what they've done here. And people, I'm a bad person. I know that. There was so much schadenfreude in the YouTube video that you sent through, Swinny, of one of the community members.
I'm not going to say everything about that video was but it still highlights what the rules were in English.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
But I had to, like I said, I'm a bad person. I know that. But I was laughing at some points of it because it was just not like I'm laughing at the person really, but it's just it's such a bad situation. It's watching someone on a motorized scooter and they're doing something that they shouldn't do, and then they get themselves into trouble. I'm just you shouldn't be spending 19 days doing this, but okay, you get to do it. And then it turns out all the rules were wrong, right? And they've spent thousands of dollars on games. It's it's really cringy. But I was actually surprised that they didn't understand that there was only one prize. It wasn't 8 prizes per category. Because I read the rules and I'm that was clear. There was only one prize.
That was very clear to me as well. Yeah. Not even entering this category,
and the funny thing is, the guy who made the video, he wasn't number 1. He wouldn't win anyway, even with the rule.
But but the thing is that the community talks a lot. So whenever there's there's people out there that definitely would have been in contention. But the thing with this is that it doesn't matter if this was Gamescore, it doesn't matter if it was Xbox or even video games. The rules in in English, they like
Yeah, the important
they
part.
were the wrong rules. It's
Yeah.
like how you can see how this mistake happens, but it's still ridiculous that it happened, if you know what I mean. So
Well, hopefully,
yeah.
hopefully, to your point, they'll just hand out a few more consoles.
I think they have to. I think
Yeah.
actually, to be honest, in Australia,
Even
just
legally
given
they have
because
to.
these are competitions, the way it works is if you've given the rules wrong, you can't just change it. It's not like something you can just wave away with T's and C's. So, because that's happened in Australia before, where people have stuffed up the writing of the rules.
yeah, so just a very messy situation, and I think I said at the start of this whole Hall of Fame thing was that this is the first time Microsoft have done anything for the achievement community in a very long time. And while it was only one category, they still screwed it up. So, yeah.
Wow.
No, it was two categories. There was two. There's two categories. It was the same thing. And it was weird how in the Dutch version, it had the correct language, but in English, like I was just like, how did they make this error? It's such a weird error to make. I hope they do the right thing and make people whole. I think it's one of those ones where if it got to like Phil Spencer's desk, he'd just go, make a whole, move on. Like he'd literally give it
for
1
sure.
second thought. It's like such
What's
little
it to
money.
them, right? Even if
Yeah.
they sell the consoles at below cost, which I don't think they do. It's
Yeah.
so little for the impact it would have on the community,
But honestly,
definitely.
the majority
No-brainer.
of people doing this, though, were just doing it to win. They weren't probably doing it to get a console, because they're probably going to get one anyway. So I wonder whether or not they would still actually, send them something that's saying you're in the Hall of Fame or something, or just give them the console.
Yeah.
At the very
I think they
least.
just add all those people. It's only, it's dozens of people. Just get it done and move on.
But I think it's just that they
embarrassing.
legit deserve it, though, right? If you enter that and it's clearly not stipulated that there's all these underlying rules, then they deserve to win that because it's what they entered. So
No, for sure. All right, well, we are running long, so I'll do something a little bit different for my favorite segment,